Are you just days away from losing a $1,400 stimulus check you didn't even know you were owed? And what's the truth behind the proposed $5,000 Doge Dividend Check? Real financial relief or just another headline? These are the questions millions of Americans are asking right now. If you're trying to understand what's really happening with government payouts, where you stand, and what steps you need to take before it's too late, you're in the right place. In this video, we're diving deep into two major money stories. The urgent IRS deadline to claim your 2021 stimulus check. Yes, even if you had no income. And the explosive proposal for a $5,000 dividend backed by big names like Trump and Elon Musk. We'll lay out the facts, bust the myths, and explain exactly what's at stake for you and your family. Stick with us until the end. We'll also show you how AI could be the key to fixing broken government systems and possibly making future payouts more efficient. You're watching Financial Area, where we break down the policies that impact your wallet. If you want to stay ahead of financial news that actually matters, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates. The clock is ticking, and for millions of Americans, time is almost up to claim the $1,400 stimulus check from 2021. While it might sound like old news, this check, part of the third round of federal stimulus payments, is still available to those who never received it. But the window to act is closing fast. The IRS has set a final deadline of April 15th, and if you miss it, the money is gone for good. What makes this especially urgent is that many people who are still eligible don't even realize it, including individuals who had no income in 2021 and never filed a tax return. If you were eligible back then but didn't receive the full $1,400 or didn't get anything at all, there's still a way to claim it. The IRS treats it as a recovery rebate credit, and the only way to receive it now is to file a 2021 tax return before the deadline. That's true even if you weren't required to file back then due to low or no income. It might sound like a hassle, but this could be the easiest $1,400 you ever collect. Many free filing tools are available, and the process can be completed online in under an hour. The people most likely to miss out on this payment are also the ones who often need it the most. Low-income workers, students, retirees, people on disability, or anyone who assumed they didn't qualify because they weren't working. The government isn't sending reminders or warning letters. You have to take action on your own. According to estimates, nearly 1 million Americans could still qualify. That's $1 billion in unclaimed aid just sitting there. What's frustrating for many is the lack of outreach. The IRS isn't going out of its way to notify people who haven't filed. There are no public service announcements or aggressive campaigns. The assumption seems to be that everyone who wanted the money already received it, but the data says otherwise. So it's up to individuals to check their status and file that return, even a simple one, to make sure they don't miss out. And if you know someone who might qualify, this is the moment to share this information. The opportunity is still there, but only for a few more days. The idea of a $5,000 Doge dividend check has been gaining serious attention and controversy as Americans search for relief from inflation and economic uncertainty. At the center of the proposal is James Fishbach, a political figure and financial executive who claims the idea came to him in a dream. It may sound far-fetched, but Fishbach has been actively promoting the concept through his investment firm, Aoria, and lobbying political leaders in Washington. The initiative is tied to Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, which aims to eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal system. While not officially a government program yet, the Doge dividend is being pitched as a way to return money saved by cutting inefficiencies directly back to the American people. Fishbach's credibility has gained traction thanks to high-profile connections. He's been involved in political campaigns, including Vivek Ramaswamy's presidential run, and has ties to influential figures like President Trump, Elon Musk, and members of the former administration. Fishbach argues that the federal government is bloated and inefficient, and that if departments like Doge are able to save significant taxpayer dollars, the public should benefit directly. According to him, early estimates show $150 billion in potential savings, which would translate to roughly $931 per taxpayer. He's pushing for that amount, or even more, to be issued as a one-time dividend check, with an ambitious goal of $5,000 per qualifying individual. One of the biggest questions surrounding the Doge dividend is eligibility. Initial reports suggested that only net payers of federal income taxes would qualify, potentially excluding low-income individuals and those on fixed incomes. However, Fishbach has since clarified that the proposal could extend eligibility to a much wider group, including Social Security recipients, disabled Americans, and even veterans. He insists the goal is fairness, not exclusion, and that the government should reward all citizens, not just those with taxable income, if substantial savings are achieved through reform. Despite the buzz, the proposal faces a major obstacle: Congress. Nothing can be implemented without formal legislative approval. While Fishbach claims to have had positive conversations with both House and Senate members, no official bill has been introduced or passed. This means there is no set timeline, no guarantee of action, and no confirmation that the Doge dividend will ever become a reality. Fishbach remains optimistic, but the political process is slow, and public support will be critical to push this idea forward. Many Americans remain skeptical. Some see the Doge dividend as just another campaign talking point, an unrealistic promise in a difficult economic climate. Others question the practicality of measuring government savings and redistributing those funds. But for those desperate for financial relief, even the possibility of a $5,000 check is enough to keep hope alive. Fishbach continues to lobby, meet with lawmakers, and spread the word, saying he feels a responsibility to the thousands of people who have reached out to him, sharing stories of financial hardship and expressing support for the proposal. Whether the Doge dividend becomes law or fades into political memory remains to be seen, but the conversation is far from over. As the Doge dividend proposal gains attention, it brings with it a broader discussion about the root problems in government spending. James Fishbach and his allies argue that bloated bureaucracy and excessive regulation have made the federal government inefficient and unsustainable. While the size of the federal workforce hasn't ballooned in recent decades, the number of regulations and the staff required to oversee them has expanded dramatically. Fishbach points out that this explosion in red tape has created a system where progress is bogged down, and taxpayers are footing the bill for inefficiencies that rarely produce results. Fishbach stresses that his criticism isn't aimed at government employees themselves. In fact, he goes out of his way to call them hard-working patriots. The issue, he says, is systemic. The structure of government agencies, the layers of approval, the redundant oversight. These are the forces that slow everything down and drain public resources. From his perspective, streamlining operations and cutting back on unnecessary rules could result in massive savings, which is where his vision for a dividend check stems from. If the government becomes more efficient, he believes it should share the benefits with the people who fund it, the taxpayers. A major part of Fishbach's argument centers on the role artificial intelligence could play in transforming government operations. Instead of hiring more regulators and auditors to comb through thousands of records manually, he proposes that AI could do the job faster, cheaper, and with greater accuracy. For example, large corporations suspected of tax fraud could be audited by AI-powered systems that analyze patterns and flag suspicious activity in real time. Not only would this reduce the cost of enforcement, but it could also increase the chances of catching fraud that currently slips through the cracks. This use of technology, he argues, could lead to a new era of government accountability, where oversight is automatic and efficient, and where savings are immediate and measurable. Fishbach envisions a future where, instead of bloated departments filled with paper pushers, lean agencies powered by AI can enforce rules, identify waste, and redirect funds back to the public. It's an ambitious vision, and not without its critics, but it adds a technological layer to the ongoing debate about how government can be improved. The question remains whether such reforms are politically feasible. Implementing AI solutions across massive federal departments would require not only bipartisan support, but also a complete overhaul of how budgets, staffing, and compliance are handled. Still, Fishbach maintains that innovation is the only path forward. He believes that if citizens demand accountability and back ideas like Doge, real change is possible, and that change could lead to direct financial benefits for everyday Americans.